What's up, guys, and welcome back to Untitled Chapter Podcast.
Yo.
We're here with Andy. No, we're not here with Andy.
Andy.
We're here with Ray,
today,
Brandon, and then new Andy.
Hi, my name is Andy with long hair.
My dog.
Nah, so obviously Andy's not here today, but we have a kind of like a. I would describe it as
An interview? It's not an interview.
no. This is like a neighboring podcast.
What do you mean by that?
I would say you're like. In a way, you're
Spit
a
it
mentor.
out, man.
In a
Spit
way,
it
you're a
out,
mentor.
dog.
Mentor.
In a way, you're a
I'm
mentor.
a pioneer.
Nah, yeah, I remember I told him, I was like, yeah, I'm starting a podcast. He started giving me tips off rip.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? He
100%.
didn't even know me, bro. So I was
Yeah.
like, and you barely see that in Miami.
And
Like,
we've been
yeah,
here.
you know?
We've been here since the long table days.
Yeah.
You know,
All the news desk.
Yeah, so I mean, real quick, we actually, I think the first person that I met was you. It was after the gym, and he's like, yo, bro, you got a podcast with the relationships. I'm like, man, I feel like I'm so celebrity. And then that's when he's telling me, he's like, oh, yeah, like we record at HCAP. I've seen you there, and I've seen your stuff, and it looks like ours. So I'm like, oh, cool, like whatever tips I can, But yeah, we did start originally with the table days.
Bro, I used to always say, I was like, it's perfect for your show because there's only two of you. But when it was us four, it was kind of a pain in the ass at first because we only had the one widescreen, so it looks weird from the side.
Right.
But like for your show, it's perfect.
Yeah.
Like, it's like a newscaster show. Like you know what I mean? You guys are both sitting there.
Yeah.
You with the suit.
I preferred
Today-
it. I preferred it that way because I felt like it was a little more professional. Plus, like you'd have the camera on us where like now like you have to wear pants. Like if
Yeah,
I wanted to
you
wear
have to,
shorts,
yeah.
I couldn't. And I'm wearing a
Wait.
suit with shorts.
Oh, that's true.
I saw a
Yeah.
couple episodes
Wait,
the
what-
other day.
Wait, would you do that?
I wouldn't do it here, but I would do it. So when we started recording, it was at like Marvin's crib. But we like set up a camera there. We just sit next to each other, and I'm like, yo. Fuck. I'm wearing my
wearing
shorts.
pants.
Yeah, I put
Wearing-
shorts on and a blazer. Whatever, bro.
I feel like they do that like on ESPN and stuff like that for Sports Center. Like
the camera.
Yeah. You go around, they got gym
I
shorts
feel
on.
like
it's
kids
just
do
the
that
top.
nowadays for Zoom meetings.
Yeah, facts.
Straight polo, butt naked.
But yeah, bro. So for those that don't know you, man, explain who you are, your podcast, like give a general like a gist of it.
Sure. So my name is Chris. I am co-founder, I would say, of the Coffee Breakup Podcast. We talk about all things relationships. Eventually, we want to kind of branch out outside of that. But the main focus is relationships. Here in Miami, there was this, especially when we started like 2 years ago, a year and a half ago. It's like, man, dating in Miami sucks. So it's like, okay, well, then let's just talk about it. And me being, for some reason, people would always ask me for advice. I don't know why. I didn't ask for it. I wasn't like, hey, how was your No, I just sit there with like my like resting bitch.
Resting bitch.
My resting bitch face. And then they'd come up to me like, bro, I hate women. I'm like, oh, this is going to be a good one, bro. I'm like, talk to me, bro. So whatever, it started coming out, and then I started doing that. And then Marvin was one of them where I was giving him advice. He wrote a book, his first book, and he mentioned me in it. So when I like that for me was super impactful. And I'm like, if I was able to do that for this one person, imagine what I can do to more people. So what do I do? So I'm like, okay, podcasting was super big. It was like growing at that point. So I'm like, all right, let's start. Marvin and I, we agreed to come together. And then a year and a half later, where, we have a couple thousand followers. And, on TikTok, we got some followers, subscribers. But dude, every day it's, we got to grind to make sure that the content is right and stuff like that. But it all started with that, man. Just trying to pretty much have open conversations about all things relationships so we can all kind of feel the same.
But I feel like you can relationships such a broad topic that you can just talk about it for days and days. And
That's the cool thing about it, because you can start, for example, a relationship could be platonic, like you guys are friends, like that's a relationship to talk, man. My coworker, professional relationships, intimate relationships, maybe you and your partner, with your family. Like there's so many things that tie in together, which kind of leads to why dating somebody else is difficult. Maybe your upbringing with your family was off, and then that now taxes your relationship.
Right.
Maybe you're stressed at work. It takes so much
I
time
didn't think
away.
it that way. I just
There's
thought
a
of,
lot.
love, like.
Nah, bro.
You
gotta
true.
watch. Yeah, you don't watch the Coffee Breakup.
I do.
Bro,
There's a couple of interviews I've watched.
Ray enamorado.
Yeah. Well, yeah, my dog's been wiped up for a
Casanova.
minute. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But why do you think dating in Miami is so hard, bro?
Sure. I mean, I think it starts with, especially now, everyone's more of a, hey, look at me. Everybody cares more about what I look like instead of what I feel. So if I can look good with like a chick, let me go after the finest one. Do I really like them? No, I don't know anything about her, but that, it's one thing. And then women, that's another thing. And we can kind of go back and forth on that argument where, do they want a guy who's going to love them, or are they going to be with someone who's going to support them? And do they confuse support with love? Well, if he's supporting me, he must love me. Well, maybe he's just got bread and you're just the one next on his list. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of things that people are confused about with, uncovering real relationships and the foundational things about them. And if we can just have open conversations and not kind of have this competitiveness or not try to hide how we feel, like that's where we don't really know how am I going to be happy in a relationship with someone if I don't know them or I don't know how they feel about certain things. And I think that if we can create the conversation, then we can all just be vulnerable. And if we can approach dating with vulnerability, like, hey, this is who I am, whether you like me or not. Now people are going to be more receptive because they're not trying to, like, you're not trying to be someone that you're not. Yeah.
I feel like that's the biggest thing in Miami. It's like trying to portray something that you're not. That's why, like, I mean, but that's Miami entire. Like, people want to get, you know, the nice cars, the chains. You know,
it's more of what are they going to think of me when they look at me, rather than how do I feel about myself. Because if I have validation from you, well, now I know that I look good because he told me, rather than I'm looking at myself in the mirror when I'm getting dressed. I'm like, damn, I look good. Right. And if I go on the street and they're like, yo, that shirt sucks, I'm like, well, you suck. I like this shirt, you know? Or for example, I say it all the time, like when I wear a suit, they'll be like, oh my God, I love how you look in a suit. I'm like, I know, that's why I wore it, because I look good in it.
Exactly.
I'm good with that. So I think once you, I spell all over the place. Once you have your own self-validation when it comes to that, like you loving yourself first, everything else
falls in place. Yes, bro.
They get that self-love through likes, you would say.
What
like on social media.
Yeah, I feel like it could, like,
I think the validation that people get now is mostly
like social media based.
Oh, like. Yeah. So then that's the other side. So we talk about, for example, Instagram, or we'll use Instagram as an example. All social media is a highlight reel. You want to post what looks the best. When you feel good, when you buy something new, when you're traveling somewhere. Look at me, I'm flexing on everybody. But bro, what about all the times you haven't posted where you're like sad, or I got nobody to talk to, you're bored? Like, obviously that's not going to get the likes you want. And us being on this whole podcasting thing, we're trying to grow a business. You know, we want likes because likes converts to views, and views converts to fans and followers. It's for us to grow. But when you're just trying to show off because maybe you want to become an influencer and you want validation through others, it's like, how do you really feel about yourself? And I think that that's where the downfall starts coming.
Okay. Let me ask you another question. Did you guys have a following on high school already, or
following in terms of
like your podcast? Like
when people were like, yo, they're making a podcast, people were like, oh shit, like
No. So when this happened, I remember when there was this one girl, I'll never forget it. She DM'd me when I first launched the first post of the podcast, and she's like, but you're never in a relationship. And I'm like, yo. And I'm like, yeah.
What I know about it.
I said coaches don't play. So
that's a bar. That's a bar.
Yeah. So it all started with that. Like for me, I just felt like if I could be I've always helped people just on the side, like from just me wanting to listen to people. I think that's how it all started. I was a really good listener. When people would talk, I'm like, okay, well, let me just sit down and let me see what they have to say. And I would take everything in, and then I would remember the details. And this was whether it was on advice or just when people talking. So then if something came up in the future, I'm like, wait. But then I remember the detail, and they're like, oh. So things like that is how it started. But eventually, once you know, I had given advice. This was after. They were like, oh, man, I didn't even know, like, because you were never in a relationship, like this is school or whatever. And I think once we actually started making the content, they're like, yo, this motherfucker's spitting. Who would have known in high school that this is the guy who, you know, knows so much about it, but it's all about just listening to people and getting a lot of experience from other people's experience. And then I would use that experience to help other people. So it's like, man, if I can do something for myself, like if I can help people from people that I know and the advice that I've heard from other people and other stuff, like, if I can just keep giving back, and then over time, I think that's what happened. I kept giving back until the podcast grew to what it is today. It's genuine.
Were you in a relationship in high school?
I had, I think, oh shit.
Yeah.
There it is.
Okay. Put it back, girl.
I had, I mean, I had a girlfriend here and there, but like, I grew up as a player.
Right.
Like, I was always like messing around with a bunch of different girls. And yeah. And I think, no, but too bad. I think that helped because I then learned what it was. Like, when girls would ask me for advice, I knew what to tell them to avoid. Like this,
avoid me.
Yeah. No, I would be like,
you do not want me.
This is what I would do, and like, this seems like a pattern. Like, again, my own experiences. Like, I hear people, but then I have my own. Like, this is what I used to do, and it sounds a lot like what I used to do. So this might happen. Then fast forward a couple weeks, and it would happen. And that's absolutely like, okay, well, maybe I'm onto something here, you know. And then, but it all started with that. Like, I wasn't really into the dating thing. It was more so. Well, I wasn't the dating, but I wasn't really like in a relationship. I was always messing around until I'm like, man, if I knew, now that I understand what it's like to feel like how they've been treated, now that I like reflect on that, I would hate for someone else to have to fall into that because they don't know. So then that's how everything started.
So what has been your longest relationship? If you don't talk about that.
That's a good question.
then it's funny you say. I think probably like right around a year and change. Like it's yeah. So it's more so like I would date often, and then I would meet a lot of people who maybe in your past you've had a long-term relationship. But for me myself, bro, the shortest. I'm not good at dating.
I feel you.
Apparently, you know. So it's more.
Yeah,
maybe you still haven't found the one.
No, but maybe that's even because like like the signs of like what you like and what you don't.
Yeah,
and that you're so particular in that.
It could be.
I think that's maybe why.
It could be. I mean, it could be that maybe since I've heard so many stories from people, or maybe I'm traumatized.
Yeah.
Bro.
Where I'm like, yo, if that's what happened to you, man, why? I don't want to get involved with anybody. But I think ultimately, you know, and I'm getting older. Like right now, I'm 28. I'm nearing 30. So you also have the societal pressures of, well, you got to get in a relationship, you got to get married, you got to have kids.
Does your mom tell you that? Like, when you have kids, when you get married?
She's like, wait.
She always does. Because the thing is, like, I have an older brother and an older sister, and they don't want to have kids. So my mom looks at me like,
my last
they
hope.
for sure.
you know what? I got my money on you.
No?
Yeah. They're like, no.
For real?
Damn.
So like my mom's like, yo, I got all my money, like chips are in on you, you know? So I'm like, yo, so
no
then,
pressure.
Right, yeah, not at all. But no, I'm more in the sense where I told them, like, listen, I don't believe, right now I'm not in the position to believe in marriage. I think it's more of a contractual thing when it comes to like the government and like all that stuff. For me, I don't think it matters whether you're married or not to commit to somebody. So like when it comes to marriage, like I don't believe that people need to get married in order for you to commit to somebody. But, you know, maybe if you're religious and that's what you believe, by all means.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if you can find that synergy with somebody and that chemistry, if you want it to be marriage and if that's a symbol for you to, you know, progress in your relationship, by all means. But if you're going to like try to marry yourself to the idea that I need to be married, I think that's going to set yourself up.
I feel like that's where people go wrong though.
Yeah.
Like, and you see it a lot with young couples. Like they get married at such a young age, and then you know what, like 8 years later,
Bro,
they get
and not even
divorced.
that is like, you know what I think is like an issue also is like when you get married young, bro, you're a totally different person like in 5-10 years.
bet-
You were when you first got married.
Especially now, which
Yeah.
now we have so much access to different people. Like I was watching a video the other day where it's like, for example, there was a war, like I think the Civil War. It's like, yo, like they had to send some guy on a horse. It took him a
Paul
month.
Revere.
You know what I mean? Now it's different. Like now we have it. You know, we can get in contact with anybody.
Quick.
So being able to have this much access to information, so young and so instantly, it's like we grow so much at this age where you can be one person at 21
and be
and
completely
at
different.
22 you're somebody
Yeah,
else.
yeah.
You know, you're always learning and you're always developing. So it's like it's hard for you to say like, oh, I want to be with this person for the rest of my life. Where one, you don't even know who you're gonna be next year,
Right.
and you don't know where your partner probably doesn't even know where they're gonna be in a
Yeah.
year. So you might be completely different people. But right now it makes sense. So do you now hold yourself back of who you could become because you're this person with your partner, or do you continue developing yourself into where you're secure with yourself? And then be the right fit for whoever that partner.
Do you think that's a bad thing too? Because at the end of the day, like, and let's say like 20 years from now, marriages are gonna go down, relationship wise. Like, 'cause Tinder, you can go on Tinder now, swipe. You feel me? Like, you get
It's super accessible.
Hella
Are marriages
girls.
going down anyways?
Huh?
what?
Isn't like the
Marriage rate?
statistics of marriages like it's like way down than what it was before?
So, if I'm not mistaken, I think marriage is down and divorce is still the same. It's percentages, so it's always going to be about the same. But if I'm not mistaken, I believe that marriage has gone down a little bit, and it's just because people
They're not.
What I think is I think people are realizing that one, a lot of people they don't want to get married because they're not fully comfortable with themselves yet. And for example, we live in Miami, so and a lot of men I think that they're the ones that have this mindset. If I can't provide, because you know men were providers, you know, and that's
Just
biological.
natural. Yeah, that's
biological.
100%.
Yeah, so anyone who's gonna argue,
I had another
with you-
question to that, but yeah.
Sure. Anyone that wants to argue, like biologically, like men, they're providers, like they're hunters. They want to like be able to feel that satisfaction of saying I can hold it down for my family. It's a lot harder now. You know, back then a man can work, you know, for 8 hours a day, and the woman could stay home, and you know there wasn't a need for any extra income. Now it's, you know, we may need another partner that has to work. So if there's all this change that's occurring from, you know, from back then till now, I think that there's always this adapting that we have to grow. And if we're too young, how can we say that this is how we're going to be for the rest of our lives?
Right. 100%.
I feel,
And then,
go ahead.
I mean, no, go ahead.
Because I was gonna say like Miami, like I feel like people always like they're in a relationship, but then they always have that feeling like, is the grass greener on the other side? You know what I mean? Like you're with your partner, but then like I saw a girl on the that other relationship podcast. They're not a relationship
Barstools?
podcast. No, not Barstools. I always see them on TikTok. The two guys, they're from Miami as well.
Fresh and fit.
Yeah.
Oh, what
I
about?
don't know.
Yeah.
Like there was a girl on there that she said she came from like another city. She had a boyfriend. She came to Miami, and then she started getting attention from guys that her boyfriend would look up to. So then it makes her think, like, damn, can I do better than this?
Damn,
And I feel like people do that. I feel like that goes a lot in like big cities like LA, New York, Miami, because you're constantly seeing someone that's
new
a
people.
lot more attractive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's more of a physical city.
Yeah.
and especially when you have women and men, you know, women who they'll invest so much in how they look. So you know, with their hair, maybe they'll get lip fillers or they'll get Botox. You know, they want to look perfect, and it's like a lot of men, they find that attractive to look at, but they don't find that attractive to be with.
Be with.
Yeah, because like. I know one of my buddies, he's like, bro, I want a bad bitch. And I'm like, yo, it ain't easy to kind of keep up with a bad bitch.
Facts.
You know, it's and no disrespect to nobody, but it's a lot of high maintenance. And for me, like, I'm more of like, you know, I'm a humble guy, and what I want is someone who's pure to themselves. Like, if you have, I don't know, bro, like your lips are not as, you know, big as the other girl.
Right.
Oh, but they're your lips, yo. Like,
Yeah, like-
I like you. I don't like you for
100%.
big ass lips.
Yeah.
You know, they're cool, but
Yeah.
I'm not dating you because you have the biggest lips in the entire room. Like shit like that.
Are you an ass or tits guy though? Real question like that.
I feel like Ray would ask you that anywhere. We're like, like he
He's
just
like
randomly met you at the gym.
Yeah, yeah.
Yo, you're
like
asking
ask this guy.
It's like, have you ever seen like Charlemagne the God on
Yeah.
the Breakfast Club
Yeah.
interviews where it could be like, oh yeah, man, like
That's straight. Okay.
just got out of a relationship and stuff. Oh, okay, so yo, is Tim Duncan gay?
just random.
Like, yo, what?
Just being messy.
Oh my god.
Nah,
I mean,
but-
it ties in.
Somewhat. No, yeah, when it comes to ass and tits, bro, I remember I had this question asked before because, you know, we live in Miami. Everyone's like, man, an ass, right? You need a
Oh,
big ass.
1000%.
But yo, but titties have a shorter shelf life naturally. You know, so
Oh yeah,
you
yeah.
gotta
yeah,
get them when
yeah.
they're in their
That's-
prime, when
that's
they're
very
fresh.
True. Yeah, that's very
now,
true.
now the good thing is, you know, a lot of women
They do the
they want to do their boobs.
Yeah.
Now again, that ties into what we just said.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to do it for yourself to feel comfortable, that's one thing. But if you want to now show them off and shit like that, like that's another thing. But you know, you gotta go with the booty, bro.
Yeah, right. I feel like just being Hispanic though.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Being Hispanic,
Is it?
we're just naturally attracted to.
That's true.
It's a big booty.
Because
Yeah, I
European
think
women's
so.
got no,
Yeah, because like
no type of booty.
like the aesthetic over there is like being skinny.
Yeah.
Like being
That is
thick
true.
over there is not like
That
the
is
thing.
true.
You know what I mean? The
That
guys
is
don't
true.
like really like that. Like my boy, he's from he's like part French.
Okay.
He sees thick girls as fat. He's like, ugh.
Really?
Like gorda, like that's what he says.
Wait, who is
You know
this?
what I mean, I'm not gonna mention his name, but
But, like-
but you feel me? Like,
I feel you.
but yeah, he's just not. That's not his thing. But he likes flaquitas. That's like his thing. But,
But-
like everybody else has like their.
That's the, and I think that's okay. Well, I'm glad you said that because I think that's the coolest thing in that when it comes to relationships because people they want to try to become perfect,
Yeah.
but it's like for what? Like, what are you trying to
Right.
bring
to impress people that like.
Right, but for what? Like, who cares? Like, who are they to you
Yeah.
for you don't want to impress those people?
Also, it's
For
like-
what?
You know what I noticed is like, all right, you're trying to impress that person, but it's like you're not gonna see that person for more than what 30 seconds or like in passing, like
That-
and you're like I fucking killed it, like
To yourself.
Yeah, like for that, like I never understood that. Like if I think it's and it goes back to the first thing we said, it's that self validation. Like, what do I care so much about what this other person has to say about me? Or maybe I'll see them for 30 seconds and then what?
yeah.
Well,
Like that's it.
That's your fulfillment.
Yeah.
Like, what does that mean to you? So now you're always chasing validation from other people. You're always this broken person. And then you see why people they jump from relationship to relationship, never being alone. They're always trying to fill the
Bro,
void with somebody
yes.
else
Right.
because they don't have that with themselves.
I feel like a lot of people are just scared to be alone too. Like they can't be by themselves.
By themselves
You know,
at
like,
all.
Because they don't know how to.
Yeah,
I think they don't know how to.
Because they started a relationship so young, and then
But-
I mean, eventually like they break up. I don't know.
But I also believe like then there's exceptions, bro. Like I feel like sometimes like you get out of a relationship and then like I've seen girls like they get out of a long relationship and they're like they want to go on their so-called hoe phase.
Hot girl summer, yeah.
Yeah, like but then they meet a guy that they actually genuinely like and they're like fuck and they get into another
Right.
relationship. Like there's those exceptions. I do
Sure.
believe in that.
Sure.
But then there's also people that just jump from relationship to relationship to relationship, and
Yeah.
that's just like I feel like that's just like a mental issue.
I think those
Like,
people never like they never really find themselves because they're always
Yeah.
trying to like
At all.
find other people like
Yeah.
and they never really like self-reflect on themselves. I think.
The problem with that is, so when you see, we'll use a girl as an example because I feel like, I mean, I know one off the top of my head for sure, but maybe you guys will do it the same. But if they're always jumping from relationship to relationship, it's like you're always the identity of the other person you're
Yes.
with. So it's like, who are you? You're oh, I'm dating this person, so now you start to like
Right.
the things
Yeah.
that they do. But then that you end up with that, like you break up and then you meet someone else. So then, okay, what attracted you to that person? So then you start saying, oh, well, this and this. It's like, but do you like that, or do you just like this person? So now you're forcing yourself to like.
yes.
There's this one girl that I know that I used to work with her years ago. We would work retail, and I think she was I don't know what the hell she was doing. I think she was teaching at one point. And then she's dating this guy, and he's in liquor sales. And now all of a sudden, she wants to be a salesman for liquor. I'm like, but do you
really
like
like
you
that?
actually like
Yeah.
that?
She goes, no, but the lifestyle and all this stuff. I'm like, what does your boyfriend do? Oh, he's in the industry too. I'm like, what is?
That's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. And then it's people like that infuriate me, especially when they come to ask me for advice, because it's like, why are you in another relationship if you don't even know who you are?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Like
so frustrating.
it's like it's the same way of like, how do you expect someone else to love you if you don't even love yourself?
100%.
Yeah, you know.
100%.
And I feel like people should. I mean, also I also believe our 20s are meant to evolve. Like I don't think relationships work at
Bro,
our
you're
age.
not the same
They
person
do, but
you
they
are.
don't. You know what I mean? Exactly. Like
You
relationships
could-
take a lot of hard work.
You could make it work, but I think you need to be secure with yourself and
Yeah.
rely on that other partner to be your partner and to help you if you're not. So a lot of problems that you'll see is when they jump so much, it's because again they're not so happy with themselves, so they're always trying to figure something out. Like they're changing,
Fill that
and they
void.
date somebody else.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll date one person today, and then in 2 years they're a completely different person.
100%.
Maybe you meet them again, or maybe you don't. But it's like, man, maybe I should have dated them then. Like there's so many things that happen in relationships, which is why we made the podcast. Because look at all this that we've discussed
Yeah.
in like what 10-20 minutes already.
And each of these is like their own topic.
Bro.
Yeah.
Like, no, yeah, it's like Pandora's box. You open
No,
that shit and
You guys be dropping bars though. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie. Like sometimes I remember at first I was like, let me see what these guys are really about.
Bro.
And then I caught myself like, hey, bro, like
He's
I'm
like, yo, my
at,
life.
at work because me and him used to work together, and
Yeah.
he would be
Yeah.
like, "Yo, this episode's pretty good." And I listened to it, and I was like, and
Who's
I
the
actually
quote?
I was like,
Bro, you
alright.
know which one was a bar when you had that guy, the relationship, I think it was the relationship coach on, and he was like, stop doing 50-50. I was like, yo, that was a bar.
Damn.
Yo, yeah, we got like 200 followers.
that got
We
Instagram
promoted-
quotes
we
up there?
we promoted that one, and we got like I think 200, 300 followers just
Bro.
because of that.
Wait,
one
who?
post.
I
It was
forgot
Dr.
his-
Heasty. We actually
Oh.
we're gonna bring him back on
The,
actually.
the guy who I liked was wasn't in the Black Sheep. He has a-
Yeah,
he
I heard that.
was
we're gonna
hilarious.
we're gonna
bro.
bring him back on too.
He's like a true old head. Like the way he was speaking, like raspy, like his raspy voice and stuff like that. Like
yeah.
I was like, yo, these are the type of dudes I like to listen to.
No, too
They've been
bad.
through some shit, bro.
Too bad that guy would probably be good on this show too.
Yeah, because you could tell he's flagrant. Like
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
just himself.
That's,
like
yeah.
you know what I mean. He wears his heart on his sleeve type.
Yeah.
And that's why I like to listen
That's
to
what
those
I
type of
feel
people.
What you see is what you get with him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's
yeah.
a real dude, and
Yeah.
that's almost ties into all this other BS when it comes to
Yeah.
relationships. Like knows what he brings to the table. He knows who he is,
Right.
and it's people like that you want in your life, bro. Like whether and look, that's like a professional, even platonic. Like that's your boy, but the one that you can rely on, you can trust. Even like for me, that was a mentor for me. Because when I first started podcasting, it was like I would see him, then we would talk almost every week. Like, what do you do? What do I do? What did you do? How can we do this differently? Hey, this guy would be good for you. Oh, let me hook you up with this guy. Like
Yeah.
I think I referred Dr. Heasty to him. So
Oh,
it's,
okay.
it's having that relationship with people that are real like that make you want to kind of continue growing within
Mhm.
yourself. And you're like, man, if that person helped me, it's like, man, I want to pay it forward. And it's all about building those relationships with those genuine people.
That's like the way to grow in the podcasting. Where from what I've heard, like it's just like
Yeah.
literally just jumping from like doing other people's podcasting, getting
Yeah.
your work, like because like maybe their audience likes what you do, so they're gonna transfer. Because I'm like, I believe in that because that's how I find new
Yeah.
podcasts. You know what I mean? Like I started from Rogan, then I went from Rogan to Segura,
Okay.
from Segura to damn, what's his name, bro?
Brett
Bill-
Kreischer?
No, Bill Burr.
Bill Burr.
Oh,
They had him
okay.
on and enjoyed it. You know, it's just jumping from,
Yeah.
from different different people. So, but like it's kind of hard in Miami, bro. Like a lot of people don't want to.
Yeah, to
And then,
generate.
and then,
wanna
and then
help
you
you.
have people like, how much you pay? And it's like, bro.
Yo, I had that once too. I reached out to this girl. She's like, "Oh, well, how much would you pay?" And I'm like,
Hey.
"How much do you want to get paid?" She's like, "Oh, I don't know, 150." I'm like, "You don't
no.
even know. Like, this is like your first time trying."
Yeah,
to I'm
yeah,
like,
no,
fuck
no,
off,
okay,
dude."
yeah.
It's like,
I
I don't
just-
even know if you know how to talk. in
I
front
wouldn't
of
even.
people.
I wouldn't even reply. Just the minute they ask for money, scene. That's it. Like I was thinking, I was about to tell them like, hey guys, we should get this athlete on. Like I don't want to mention a name, so you know it is what it is. But then that new law got passed, the NIL thing, that where college kids can get paid because he's in
Yeah.
college.
Yeah.
And then immediately I was like, nah.
We're not
We
gonna
hit him up now. He's gonna be like, I want
Yeah.
whatever.
Was he down before though?
I think he would have.
He would have,
definitely because
but now he expects to get paid.
yeah, now
You
like
think so? I feel like we can get him.
nah.
We'll see.
Well, they almost lost yesterday.
Yeah.
Stop.
But, Jesus.
We're getting close.
Yo, that's too much. That's too much.
That's already too much.
Yeah, you're getting.
He
too
doesn't know.
close.
He doesn't know, bro.
All right, but I had a question for you because it's a conversation I've been having like for the past week with like different people. It's just come up randomly.
Sure.
Can men and women be friends? Like just friends?
Yo. Oh man, we're actually posting. A
Oh, okay.
video.
If you don't want to talk about it, it's fine.
No. Can men and
Please
women?
stop.
Wait, do you guys release before us or after us?
Well, we're gonna change that too. We're gonna start posting
Shit.
Mondays now.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna start. Yeah, so one tip I would give you guys, Marvin, he went in on this. He checked all his analytics, like to see when we're posting, like which posts get the most views, what days, what times, and he's like, yo, based on our analytics, based on our numbers,
I'm the guy for that.
He's like, oh, we gotta post this. So
Yeah.
we're gonna be posting more on Mondays now.
I've noticed a slight drop from when we went from Wednesdays
Wednesday
to
to
Fridays
Fridays.
because of like scheduling wise with my
Yeah.
school and shit. It was tough to post on Wednesday. But I was looking at the analytics and I'm like, yo, we used to get way more shit on
yeah?
Wednesdays
Engagement.
too. Because people are
Really?
people are at work, bro. Like that's when you like.
I mean, I can't argue against the numbers, but I'm in my head, I'm like,
But it's true.
who the fuck would listen to a podcast
Friday?
on a Wednesday?
But who's
Like,
gonna
that's
listen on
how I
Friday,
looked at
though?
it. Like I
But
get,
we
I
were
understand,
also the ones watching podcasts on the Wednesdays.
not
Exactly.
Really. I'm not.
Who listened to a podcast on a Friday?
Most of the podcasts I
True.
listen to, they're all drop
Bro.
on Mondays and Fridays.
I mean, if you think about it, Friday is the last day of the work week.
That's true.
But everybody's out.
So at night, like throughout that day, no one's focused on. Let me sit down and
Yeah.
listen to it. They're like, oh man, I
Yeah.
can't wait to go out and go to happy hour, or I can't wait to go out and get ready because I'm gonna go out, or I'm going on a trip,
me?
so like, I gotta like no one really cares to do that
Yeah.
on Friday. I would think, well, it's the end of the week. You could
That's
start your
what- yeah.
weekend. Ain't nobody cares.
That's
Yeah.
what I first framed it at, and I'm like, yo, we're dropping right now.
Yeah, so we're gonna be switching over to Mondays because if we can start the week off and like, well, let me check these guys out, and then all week we're gonna be promoting what we're gonna talk Monday.
Mhm.
Hey, bro, like link in bio, like just click on it and you
Yeah,
can see the.
it's
I-
already there.
I had
already
another
there.
question about ads and stuff, but
Wait, hold on. I didn't
No.
answer your
Okay,
question
okay.
though,
Yeah,
about
yeah.
can guys
Shut
and
the
girls
fuck up,
be
Ray.
friends?
Can guys and girls be?
All right, really quick because I think you're gonna go back to more podcasts.
no, but I'll ask you that later.
Don't forget.
Oh yeah.
Can guys and girls be friends? Depends. Are each guy and girl in a relationship? Because that's where it starts to get a little dicey.
Nah, I'm thinking more just singles. They're both single. Can they just be friends?
Maybe they're each other's
No.
wing people.
I
Maybe
think
maybe
they
that way it
can.
No.
work.
Okay. Yes, and I think yes, mostly yes, but also it
What?
could be no because it can
Okay.
cross. It can cross.
Yeah.
Where if let's say you get intimate with this person and you've had
Mhm.
sex, are you still friends?
Oh
And you-
no, of course
No,
not.
no,
And then exactly because then that's what happens. Let's say that you two can be friends and you guys can keep it completely platonic. And
Yeah.
I don't see any problem with that. I have a lot of friends.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, like, do you have any girls?
Yeah,
that are just
I have
friends?
I have a bunch, and nothing has ever happened. It's always been platonic, and
Yeah.
and that's the relationship that we've always had. But I think that type of relationship is a little bit more delicate than it would be, like for example, for us or whatever, like one of my boys, because obviously you don't want to disrespect the girl, and it's also how she would react to maybe, like, let's say you bring her around these guys. Is she gonna be one of the boys, or is she gonna feel a little bit awkward and have to rely on you? So what kind of friend are you going to be bringing around, and what kind of dynamic are you going to have with the rest of your friends? And I think that'll kind of classify what kind of friend that person's going to be.
Cause like all of them, they're like, nah. Like all my boys are like, nah. I don't. 99% of guys cannot be friends with girls. But I'm like, brother, there's girls that I'm cool with that I don't look at like that. You know what I mean? Like I don't.
Yeah, and I applaud you for that, because the guys are you guys saying no? I don't want.
I'm saying
He
no,
says
but
no.
I'm leaning
I'm
towards
saying
no.
I'm
I have
saying
a-
your wife though,
Yeah.
so you'd feel your girl would find that disrespectful. She would.
No, 100%.
no. I think I'm almost on the same thing as Ray, but I'm
Okay.
like in between because I'm like you could. If
You're
both people-
single and they're single. Why not?
No, I'm not single. First
No.
of all,
I'm
Hey,
He's
not
just saying
pointing
general.
you.
He's just saying
And
general.
like,
Yeah,
if you're
yeah.
single and
Yeah.
and
she's
they're single, you could be.
Okay, look,
Like
you're single.
I'm single.
You're single.
And I'm like, I can be
You're
friends
single. I'm single. We're boys, right? We're
Yeah,
cool, right? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So why can't you do the same with
with a girl. That's
Yeah,
what
what's the-
I
What
look
is the
at.
difference? So you tell me what's wrong with that.
No, if you're both single, you could be friends.
Okay.
I think
It does-
you're right that it gets complicated. I think maybe if you're in a relationship, because it's like, how do you divide? Like maybe your partner sees it as like he's spending too much time with
You
this person.
communicate then.
Yeah,
That's
like
true.
because I've had like I've had a longtime friend that was a girl. Like we were, me and Andy were friends with her. Well, Ray too, actually. I'm lying. All three of us were friends with her since high school, and then we all had relations. And they knew her. They knew her as like, yo, this girl's like our sister. You know what I mean? This and that.
Yeah.
Granted, I do get what he means. Like, some of the other girls would get kind of like, oh, why you always
Awkward
want
up.
her to talk to her, like this and that, like
Yeah.
like they do find it disrespectful, but like I feel like it's more like, yo, she's just like a friend, like that's the homie.
That's
yeah.
It's how you address it. So it also ties into. So let's say for you, you're in a relationship, you are as well. If your partner is not fully secure with herself and in the relationship that she's in with you, then it's a problem.
Yeah.
Because why wouldn't she trust you?
Right.
Right.
Now you can always say, well, I trust you, I don't trust the other person. So what about that other person is it that you don't trust? So, and if they really are your friends, they would know about them with the inception of the relationship. So if you started dating this person and they were your friends, there's no reason why they shouldn't have crossed paths. Now, if you're hesitant of bringing them together, why are you hesitant? So now what are you feeling about that situation that's going to go off? Because if that girl is genuinely your friend and you genuinely love this person, your partner, there's no reason why they shouldn't coexist as, you know, her being one of your friends. Right. But you have to kind of lay out that foundational work before you just say, by the way, this is one of my homegirls. Yeah, because like, oh, why haven't you told me about her?
Yeah, right.
I know your other boys.
I feel like that's where the issue comes in. Like,
you don't address it at first.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
yo, look.
It's communication, security, and comprehension.
Yeah.
So if I can communicate to you who this person is, and you can comprehend that, and now my job is just to make sure that you feel secure about that friendship.
Yeah.
And if all that is in place, there's no reason why, opposite sex shit.
let's say that your girl
Difficult
never
part.
gets cool with it. Like, and then this is like a long time.
That's
friend.
it?
What would you do in that type of situation?
At that
You're
point,
picking your friend or the girl?
but at that point, it's like, I don't know. Maybe it's something with your girl. Then at that point, maybe.
Yeah, what's wrong with your why what's up with your girl that for not liking?
Maybe like she feels some type of way because I'm like, when I look at friends like that, like I'm talking. All right, let's say this. Like, can you be close friends with a girl? Like, go to her and like talk to her about shit like you're going through maybe with your girl and stuff like that, and you're trying to get a girl's perspective from it.
Yeah.
Like, do you think like that could happen? Because like maybe she feels some type of way. Like,
you know what I think the problem is, and I think this is what most in this situation most women will probably feel threatened, because let's say you're a chick or I'm a chick and you're going to me for advice and you got a girlfriend, right? Now if I'm going like this to you when I'm talking to you, do you do that to him?
Nah.
Why is she doing that? That's a problem.
That's disrespectful. Yeah,
so and if you're in a relationship, you have to have obviously that boundary where it's like, well, hey, like if I'm a girl and you got to tell your girl like, hey, just so you know, like, we've always been best friends. Like, I know that, we hug, we hang out, we've traveled together and stuff, let's say, for example. But obviously, I'm in a relationship, I just want to make sure that, nothing gets crossed out of respect.
Yeah.
But I do want you to meet, like, I need you guys to get together because I need you guys, if you're my best friend, I need her to see that. Because then I don't want to now have to sever this relationship for her or have to now tell every girl I date, hey, fuck off because I'm too close to you. I think that's the whole conversation that needs to be taking place.
But I'm more on board, like, you guys can't be friends. Because I'm like, if you could be boys with, like, a guy, why can't you just do it with a girl? You know what I mean? Like,
I agree.
You feel me? Like, because my boy, like, one of my boys specifically, he's like, nah.
But
nah, bro.
Why?
Like, he's like, you'll always have, like, you guys would always want to do something.
Like a sexual.
Yeah,
right,
like,
but
that sexual but, like, if you,
then
like,
that's not your friend then. That's the first thing I asked.
That's what I'm saying.
You see what I mean?
Like, because, like, on other, like, shows I've seen before, like, they'll be like, oh, call your friend up right now. Like, the girl will be like, oh, I have a guy best friend. And they're like, all right, let him in the door. I generally think if a girl calls me like a girl that I'm cool with, and she hits me with like that randomly, I'm gonna be like, what are you talking about,
so
bro?
look,
like, you feel me? Like, it's just
I have like girls that are friends that they're in relationships.
Yeah.
And one of them, she's always like she'll send me pictures of like them together, and like I'll send pictures of what I'm doing. Like, it's cool, like we're cool.
Yeah.
And for example, if she, knowing that she's in a relationship, if she were to hit me up and be like, hey, let's do something, I'll tell her like, yo, you got a boyfriend, dog.
Yeah, like,
what
see
are you
that,
doing? You
like,
feel
why
me?
you hit me up?
Boundaries,
Why
right.
you hit me up? And I think that that's a real friend that you would want to bring around your partner.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't want to bring someone that you might feel like, oh, well, yeah, why not?
Yeah.
'Cause it's like, yo, that you see, like, because I believe that like sometimes guy friends aren't really genuine guy friends to girls.
They're just being,
they're
they're
waiting
faking
for their
it till,
opportunity.
yeah, exactly.
So then that's not really a real friend.
Yeah.
And then I think that maybe if you were to test them with that theory or that little the thing, maybe it'll be like, you see, like, that's not someone who you really who is your friend. He's just waiting for me to fuck up for him to like
step
come
in.
in.
Same thing applies to the girl too.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely,
I was gonna say, what if
absolutely.
it's the opposite? Like,
What do you mean?
what if it's like
Yeah, you're
Like,
in a
your
relationship.
girl has
your
a
girl
guy
has
best friend.
A guy best friend. How would you feel?
Mm-hmm.
How would I feel?
Fucking
No.
hell no.
I would. I would.
Fuck.
I
I'm
would
your
wanna
guy
be-
best friend.
Hey,
Exactly.
I
It's like,
would.
yo conozco ese cuento.
Yeah. I'm
I
off
would
to
wanna-
work. Está ahí
If
cingando.
she,
Fuck no. Fuck no.
But like, if she doesn't approach it the way you said, like
Yeah.
off rip, like, hey, like she tells me, like, hey, he's been my guy best friend for like this long. Like nothing's ever happened. Nah, if she tells me something happened in the past, there I'm gonna have issues.
Yeah,
with
that's
it.
when
Like,
it's like,
I would
alright.
be I'd feel a little.
you know what I mean? But like, if
comfortable with that
nothing's ever happened, like I can only go based off a word, and if I'm not gonna be in a relationship with someone I don't trust,
too. Exactly.
you know what I mean? So
exactly.
I don't know. I just think I
And to tie into to what you just said, at the end of the day, if your partner is cheating on you, that has nothing to do with you. You know?
Oh yeah.
Because if they are cheating, that's their problem. There's
yeah.
no reason for you to stress yourself out if they're cheating.
Yeah.
Because if you're doing everything you can be as a best partner as possible,
Mm-hmm.
then it's their loss. Like for like I never understood that. Like if I were in a relationship and I got cheated on, it's like, yo, that's your loss. Like, thank you for making this easier for me to like.
Yeah.
Why would I want to invest my time into someone that doesn't want to invest it back to me?
Facts.
So if I'm just gonna be with someone and they cheat on me, yo, like I know my value.
Yeah.
And if you lost it, good luck finding it somewhere else.
Yo,
I'm gonna go find someone who does.
What do you consider cheating?
What do I consider cheating?
Yeah, like that's a good topic.
No, dude. Okay, it's a good question. I think it all comes down to intent. It's what is the intention with meeting up with someone. So if you're gonna be hitting up your best girlfriend, right?
Yeah.
If you're gonna meet up with her because you have intentions of actually like, yo, I gotta talk, or yo, my like homeboy, whatever. Or, hey, your brother works here. Like I need.
Right.
Like, that's
No sexual feelings.
Yeah, but if you're gonna be like, yo, what are you doing? Let's go for a drink and we'll hang out with the intent of maybe
He wants to fuck.
you loosen up and then something. It's like something's a little off. I think it's whenever there's intent, because I can say, hey, let's hang out, and because I need to go to the mall to pick something up, and that's harmless. But if I'm there thinking like, oh, but look, there's a bar right here. Yeah, that's already switching. Like that's already with the intent of wanting to cheat. Because like I'm now giving my attention to someone else, like romantic intention. Like what else is gonna come from this if I'm trying to go in that direction?
Yeah. So if you call your girl texting one of her guy friends, like not some suspect shit, but like I guess like, hey,
Kind
do
of
you want to hang
borderline
out?
suspect.
And like, oh, actually, would you even check your girl's phone? Like, do you believe in that?
No.
You don't
'cause
believe in
it
that?
ties into what I just
Yeah.
said. Like if
Exactly.
they're cheating and being sketched, that's their problem. Like that's them having to live with the idea of like, man, I can't get caught.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
that's
that paranoia is
What am I like? If they're gonna cheat, they're gonna cheat.
100%.
Like, what am I
Yeah.
gonna waste my time
You
and
know-
lose sleep over? Like, yo, if you're gonna cheat, you're gonna find out how.
You know, no bullshit. Cause I always had it. Like starting off, like as like, I was gonna say youngin, but I'm still young. But I guess my old self, that used to always kind of be an issue for me. Not an issue, but like I would always like think about that too much. Like, yo, damn, she cheating and she's like,
Where is she at right now?
Yeah.
She said she's here.
and you know the guy,
location.
you
Turn
know,
my car on and go. Let me see if she's really there.
you know who I owe up to? Oh, I didn't do all that, but I like similar shit. But you know who I owe that to? What you just said about like if they're gonna do their thing, they're gonna do it no matter what. Is the person we talked about before the podcast that went to the same high school as you?
Oh yeah.
I'm not gonna say his name because I don't know if he
wants.
wants to be mentioned or anything like that. But he taught me that. He's like, bro, she could. He's like, the girl I was talking to at the time. She's like, she's at work right now, right? I'm like, yeah. She's like, he's like, she could be sucking up one of her coworkers right now, and you would never find out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
like
you gotta say it like
I know, and I was like, damn, bro, like why you gotta be like that?
It doesn't matter because she could be doing it there.
But bro, I was like, I always appreciate it because he always came with the bluntness, like, yo, if she wants to do it, she's gonna do it. Like,
Yeah.
if they want to do it, like, he's like, just like you, like, there's girls that you work with that are bad. You know what I mean? Y'all can go to the bathroom right now and do something, and your girl would never find out unless that girl says something. But then, you know, that's different. But he's like, just don't worry about it. Do you, like, as long as you're doing your part, like,
You'll be
you're
good.
straight.
If you
feel
can
me?
be the best partner for them and they blow it, it's like that just creates more value for you. Like
Yeah.
if anything, if that were to occur, it's like, yo, I'm so happy that I'm not wasting my time no
Yeah.
more with
Right.
someone who doesn't want to be with me,
Mhm.
who would rather be with someone else.
The truth revealed itself.
Hey,
Bar.
hey, that's a bar. I'll
Nah,
tell you
nah,
that.
he's probably thinking about it right now. He's like, damn, where's my girl right now?
Let me check my phone.
Is she
Homework,
home?
huh?
Is she home?
I hope.
Check her location. Hasn't been updated in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Very worried.
Oh,
Bro.
man.
I also like I see a lot of couples that they have their only like my past relationships. I've had like my exes have my location. Like,
Yeah.
Do you like? Do you agree with that?
Man, it's I don't. Okay, so if you're in a relationship that's secure and you're in a relationship where you're happy and you can trust that person, then there's nothing wrong. Because God forbid something does happen to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How would I look
Who
at it.
would know?
Yeah.
Your
That's
partner.
why, yeah.
You know.
That's the only reason I like me and my girl share ours, because they would be like before. This was like I'm talking about like back in the days. Like I didn't have a whip or nothing, bro. Like
Facts.
I would just drop her off, whatever, and I would just like
That was
luckily
Lance Armstrong out
we
here.
live close enough, but bro, I would walk her bike home. this is obviously back in the day, but it's like, God forbid anything happened to me, like fucking, I don't know, like 1 a.m. Like she was like, yo, like,
Damn, you had
Yeah.
like in the 1 a.m.
bro, however you can, dog. Yo,
Yeah, it's one of those, bro.
get it how you live, bro.
No, but at the end of the day, you know, it's one of those things that if you're in a relationship where you have that trust and there's
Yeah.
nothing wrong, like like what if something happens to you? How would they know?
Yeah.
Who would know? You know what I mean? So if you do have your partner's location, I don't think it could be sketch if you want to be sketch though. So it goes into whatever your intentions are. If you're trying to be sketch, like maybe you put your phone on airplane mode or
Facts.
and you turn your phone
Yeah.
off to go somewhere else. Like, yo, we had your
When girls do this,
Yeah.
when
or-
girl wait, when you out with
They
girls,
flip their phones?
Yeah, they do this. But like, I always think I'm like,
I'm sorry, I fell asleep.
Out.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh, that's like,
Yo, Ray.
yo, if a girl tells you that, bro, like, that's it, dog. Like,
No.
give it up, king. She hits you up.
Bro,
She hits you the next
I
day.
just
my bad.
woke up.
It
and
just
it's
happened
like 3
2
o'clock in the
days.
afternoon.
I fell asleep.
It's been 2
Yeah.
days.
Yeah.
I fell asleep.
Yeah.
see
Shut
on
the
it,
fuck
yo,
up. I fell,
You see the Don Julio in the Instagram story?
or she blocks you.
Oh, I love those.
Yes, because
What?
it's happened.
No,
When
that's
it's like
1942.
Yeah, that's what it was. They be like, yo,
No,
if
say it ain't
if
so.
the, if the girl you're talking to has a 1942 bottle in the story, focus on
Or
yourself,
like
king.
the glass azul, the glass azul. Like, bing, 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 bing. You're like, no, not the bell.
Or she's posting
they got the fucking bottle girls coming. I'm like,
she's
Yeah.
posting stories in the passenger seat with the red leather seat. Like,
Oh, she's done for.
that's it.
Or like
dog.
they take the
With
picture
the-
showing off the Rolls Royce.
Yeah.
Yes.
The lights in the
with the
back.
lights, it's like,
or the brickle balconies.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Yo,
I was thinking
that's
that
it, dog.
Yeah. Worry about
Damn, we got
yourself,
so
dude.
many, bro.
I don't know what's the last one. I think this was the last one. It's like if she's posting that a picture where she's out on a boat.
oh yeah, you're
No,
done.
you lost
yeah,
her.
yeah.
Yo,
Yo, he has a
dude.
boat, bro. That's it.
Yeah, whatever, bro.
That's
It is what
currency
it-
in Miami, bro. Like,
You
if
charge
if
to the
have a
game and
boat-
that's it, bro. You just keep it moving.
Yeah,
'cause
bro.
Everybody has a boat in Miami, bro. Like
Not everybody. I'm trying to get a boat.
No, but you can rent one.
So,
yeah, that's what I'm
That's
saying.
true.
Everything could be rented. in Miami,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah,
Literally
dude.
every. You know, I found out recently by Andy actually. He told me like you can rent chains.
I didn't know that.
Really?
I was like, no wonder,
Oh,
bro.
wait, I actually saw something about that.
Yeah,
you can
lease a
rent
chain.
chains, bro.
Yeah. I heard something about that.
That's I was like, no
Well-
wonder. Because sometimes I see kids. I'm like, kids that look my age, fat ass Cuban link. I'm like,
And the
yo,
club
that's
and
like
shit.
at least $100,000 around your neck, bro. Like, how do you afford that?
I heard I think someone they did that for like a rap video. This was
Yeah, they
years
do that
ago.
for
Yeah, so
music videos.
yeah, they'll rent out jewelry and like a lot of cars and all this stuff. But a lot of it is jewelry. So like after that, they just turn it in, or like they have like the jeweler
Yeah.
there, like off that rental. And
I
they
know-
wait, and then they'll
I know
take-
jewelers like for artists, especially for big artists, they don't like they let them hold like really like expensive chains because it brings them business from regular people. Because
yeah,
they'll
when
be
they
like
tag when they
they'll
tag.
they'll shout them out like, and then
You know,
people will go to
songs,
them because
Johnny
You-
Dang.
Yeah,
yeah,
Johnny
you
Dang
know
was
him.
one. Ben
I-
Baller.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. I was gonna ask you because someone who gives relationship advice.
Water.
I barely have.
Yo, what's up with you, dong?
I've been
We're-
talking
we're
a lot,
just thirsty,
man,
bro.
and I forgot
Dude,
water.
nah. Bro, what's the most annoying part of giving a relationship advice? Because people like
God.
in my experience, people have asked and then you tell them something long-winded and they just don't do it.
That. No, but what's worse than that is when, okay, this is it. All right, let's say you come to me for advice and I say, okay, if you do this, my advice, this could be the outcome, but it's most likely what's going to happen. If you don't, this is going to happen, most likely than not.
Yeah.
But hey, do whatever you want. Like, all right,
Yeah,
fine.
I was like, do you always end it off that you give like let's say long ass advice and at the end you end it off with, but hey, that's
Hey,
just
but
me
that's
though.
just me.
The choice is yours.
No. Usually I'm like, I'm kind of a dick when it comes to giving
Oh,
advice, but it needs to build to that. So, and that happens with this. So I'll say, do this. If not, this is going to happen. It's completely up to you, but it's whatever outcome you want. But for what you told me, your best bet is to go this way. And this is me thinking unemotionally, unbiased, almost like a therapist.
Yeah.
Because, your boy, you're going to look out for your boy. Or
Mm.
your girl, you're going to look out
Facts.
for your girl. But when it comes to actually, like, being unbiased, like, for me to do that, it's very difficult. Like, with Marvin, like, it was hard. Because I'm like, he would call me once, and I always say this example. And he would tell me, and I'm like, and I went off on him. He's like, bro, I didn't call you for you to bitch at me.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, you call me for the truth. If you can't handle it, that's your problem, not mine. So after I told him that, he's like, fuck. That's when he's like, well, okay, even though we're boys, he doesn't give a fuck. Like, if he needs to give me the hard news, he's going to give it to me.
Yeah.
So I think what's difficult there is you'll give advice, and then they'll fuck off and they'll do whatever the fuck they want. Then they come back pretty much telling you, hey, I did what I wanted to, and what you said actually happened. I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
all right, so this time do you want to listen to me? Yes, okay, perfect. Then we'll go around the whole routine, whatever. And then the same bullshit. They come back a couple weeks later. I couldn't do it because I love him so much. And I'm like, yo, then fuck off then.
Yeah,
Why
yeah.
are you at? Like, I'm not your therapist. Like, you're coming to me for advice. If you want therapy, go hire a therapist. Go
Yeah.
find one. And then they'll listen to all your problems because that's what they get paid to do.
Yeah.
Like, they literally will listen to you, will sit there, and they're going to treat your problem as the biggest thing. Oh, my girl just broke up with me. All right, that is the world. Your world is going to end. We need to solve that. Yeah, no, that's how it is.
Yeah.
You can say, well, I lost my job. Oh my God. Okay, this is a really big deal for you
Yeah.
because this is why you're coming to me for. For me, I'm not that guy.
Yeah.
I'm not that guy. Papa.
I'm not that.
So, for me, it's like, hey, if I'm gonna give you advice because you're coming to me for advice, and I think this is the problem because it's free. Because if I charge, people wouldn't waste my time.
Yeah.
And then that's where I get bothered because I'm like, I'm literally trying to help you out because you're being blind because you love this person. So, but I can't get over it. Or I know that they're going to be here. Let me go and chase them down. Or like, bro, you're better than that. And now you're going to do whatever the fuck you want to come back to me to fix your problems that you're creating for yourself. That's not what I'm doing. That's not why I'm in business. Like, I want to try to help you to make you a better person, to make you see what you're not. Like, make yourself, to bring you up so you're not now cheapening yourself for this other person that doesn't want to be with you.
100%.
Have you had a do you give advice to anybody? Like if let's say like a random person or not a random person.
Well, we get a lot
Let's
of
say someone
DMs.
DMs
No,
you,
yeah,
yeah.
we get a lot of DMs.
I'm guessing, yeah. That's
Yeah,
just popping.
we get a lot of DMs.
Girls or both?
You know, it's funny. A lot of them will be fake profiles, and I don't know if it's like like for example, maybe it's you, and you're
You
like,
just don't
well,
want-
I don't want them to know it's me.
Yeah.
It's all like, that happens a lot. We get a lot of people with 0 followers, 0 posts.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and they'll give us a whole spiel. Maybe it's fake. I don't know. But at the end of the day, like we'll get that, or we'll get actual people who will write and they'll give us advice, and I treat it as that. Like I'll give them straight up, like, hey, this is what's happening. We had one that they're like, oh, I really like this person, but they're moving away and it's long distance, and I don't know if they want to be with me anymore. Like they're telling me that we're not gonna work out, but I really want to be with them. I'm like, they're literally telling you they don't want to be with you.
Yeah.
Why do you want to fight for someone who doesn't want to be with you?
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. You needed to write to me.
Damn.
Like, come on.
I guess it's because like they don't want to face the reality, so
Yeah.
like it's like
They want to
less-
hear the truth from somebody else.
it's like a little bit more impactful if someone else tells you. You know what I mean?
And that's also the problem. So, and then I'll build relationships with people after, like, whether it be through advice or with whatever, and they'll ask me for something, and I'll tell them, hey, this is what I would do given what I've heard, my experience, and what I'm, the podcast or whatever, and the coaching and stuff. But and then they're gonna be like, oh, whatever, they're not gonna listen to me. But then they'll listen to advice from somebody random, and it's the same exact thing I said, and they're like, oh, I think I'm gonna start doing
Yeah.
this now. I'm
You're
like,
just like me.
I'm like, oh, I'm like, está bien. It sounds familiar, but okay. And then that's when that's when I'm like, can you start listening to me now?
Yeah.
And then we'll go in that direction.
That's crazy, bro. Relationships are like a crazy ass like roller coaster, I guess, because like sometimes you could be like this and then you have a problem.
But it
Down.
doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
I feel like those relationships that everything is great all the time. I don't know, bro.
No,
It's just
no,
like
no.
You know
I
what?
feel like
I think communication helps with that, bro.
yeah,
Like-
it does. You feel me?
Because it's like if you're like look, I'm having a down day, like I'm not gonna be super like active today or like happy today. Like I'm just letting you know.
Yeah,
think-
so, bro. Like if something's off and you tell your partner, now they're not wondering, well, what's wrong, babe? And you're like,
Yeah.
nothing. Like, no,
Yeah.
hey, you know what? Like, maybe work was stressful or
Yeah.
some shit happened with my parents. Like, if you communicate with them, then they understand. Okay, hey, or maybe. Oh, look, babe, right now, look, I just need a little bit of time just so I can kind of do my own thing right now. Like, let me heal. Give me like about maybe an hour, and I promise you we'll have the conversation later so I can open up. Like right now, I'm just a little bit heated.
Yeah.
Boom. That's all you have to do. But if you're gonna nothing, everything's fine. No, come on, tell me it's okay. Like you're not gonna solve
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
And they're like, nah, never mind. It's like,
But like I know a lot of people that just like I guess they have issues, but they don't want to bring it up because like, oh, maybe it's like a small thing, and they're like,
Yeah,
they
brush
hold it
under-
in,
that
they'll
shit
get
will
over it.
bubble
No,
up.
it gets
So-
brushed under a rug.
But then
and then
you
another
just
small
build
thing
up,
gets
it
brushed
just
under
starts
the
to
rug.
build up,
and then it gets brushed under the rug.
It's a-
Yeah, it gets brushed.
And then they got
shit
shit
over
over, right?
and then
and you
you
trip
leave a
over
spoon
it,
in the sink,
you
and then
trip-
they flip out like,
Yeah,
and
because
that's
you
when it goes
fucking
crazy,
leave and
yeah.
your mom's a hoe and all that stuff, and you're like, what?
damn, bro, like
I could just wash it. Like, oh, but last week. Yeah, dude. Yeah.
yeah, bro, shit's
Oh my
crazy.
God, bro.
Did you have anything else?
Bro,
You
we
had asked some,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
but
I
I think
mean-
it goes back to podcasting and stuff.
Yeah, I can ask you that after.
Bro, what do you
Go
think?
ahead. Oh,
What
No,
do
it
you,
was about podcasting. But
go ahead. No, bro, just go.
Go.
No, because then we're gonna shift the energy right now.
Yeah.
yeah.
So all right, so pretty much like, what do you think, in your personal opinion, is the best place or like the best activity to do like on a first date? Like you meet somebody, right? Where are you going? Like,
Not
let's say-
movies. Do not pick the movies.
All right.
Definitely not.
Where would you go on if you? Well, you. How long you been in a relationship for?
2 years.
All right. What do you think would be a good first date?
First date.
I'm gonna ask all y'all. So start thinking.
Damn.
It's a first date with someone. Well, the thing is, your wife. I cannot. How
The
long you been in a
usual-
relationship?
I've been in almost 5 years now.
He's
Jeez, are you
basically
single?
wifed.
Okay. Start thinking. I'm gonna ask you next. Where would you go? on
I
a first
recently
date?
found the answer to this because
What?
we just went a hookah lounge, bro.
That's interesting.
Okay.
Why? But
Why?
that's
Outdoors.
already
Why,
lounge though.
Why?
Because it's chill vibes, and then like,
Chill vibes.
and then I can get to know her. Like I just
All right.
talk.
She doesn't like hookah.
Yes, but she's already.
I don't have to.
She doesn't
Oh no,
smoke.
because the
First-
place we got, we don't have to get hookah. That's the thing.
We don't.
I'm
But- okay, but
or
alcohol's
that
already
would come
setting
up-
in.
But that
on
would
their
come
first
up.
date?
But that would come up in like my
I don't
conversation.
like it.
Alcohol in the
What,
first.
what you mean? That would come up. That would come up
Alcohol
in
on
the.
the first
All right, let
date,
me
though.
finish.
Hey, really quick, where would you go on a first date if you had to?
Look here.
What do you mean? What?
Talking to the mic. Talking to the mic.
Where would you go? Where would you go? No, take his. Take his.
Yo, but that was about to go up.
Yeah, but I got.
Yo, hey, this guy's good about to go in NBA fucking the finals. Bro, it's a really quick.
Sit right there. sit
dinner.
right there.
Dinner. Okay, that's fair.
Dinner
That's
is like the. I was gonna say dinner, but
it's basic.
That's
It's,
basic though.
it's basic. It's basic, but it's not the best.
I say hookah just because it's more of like interaction. Like you have to interact.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you go to movies, like you're watching movies, it's kind of hard to talk. Can't
Yeah.
talk during.
so
the
it's
movie.
already a night
You feel
thing.
me?
already.
Well, yeah. I mean, cause I can't like day activities. I don't think that would work to be honest. Like
Why not?
Why not?
I don't know. I just
Why
don't
not?
think so.
Tripping, Brandon.
Like what? All right. So what day activity you think about? Brunch?
No. See, you already. I'm putting alcohol to the date.
You don't even know.
Anywhere you go,
You
and
don't
if you
know
go
this
eat
person.
dinner, you're gonna
Nah.
order alcohol.
But that's wine. All right, wine maybe.
It's the same
a
thing.
glass of 2, but
A glass of 2 or 3 or 4.
Whole bottle.
no, bro. But that's already alcohol in the first date. You didn't know this person.
So you've never gone on a first date and had alcohol?
But I don't know. Honestly, I didn't care about that person. I just went to smash.
I mean, you're honest.
Jesus, bro.
We being
All right,
honest.
so with your girl now, what was the first date?
We went to
that's
sushi place.
We got an
But there's-
episode
so
coming
dinner.
up too about this too.
So dinner.
Cool.
So dinner.
Dinner, but there was no alcohol placed in
All
the
right.
date.
Oh, because you guys didn't order, but
The best first date would be okay. What is the goal of the first date? The goal
To
of
get
the
to know.
to get to know the person,
okay, exactly. And how do you get to know someone? By
Right.
talking.
talking and
right?
interacting.
Wherever you can create that setting, whether it be a walk in the park, going for coffee, maybe something. I would say not so much a dinner date because
Right.
what happens with when you set up a dinner date and depending on the person that you're with, they're now gonna subconsciously start judging you depending where you went, what you ordered, and
How you dressed?
Okay.
how you dressed, what time are you getting there, what time are you leaving, what car are you driving, are you meeting there? It's a lot of moving factors when it comes to that. And
That's
you,
true.
yeah. So and depending on the person, I think go to would be
I've done the
Me-
aquarium, which is corny, but
aquarium on a first date.
yeah.
It's adventurous, and with that one, it's more that's a big risk because now you're stuck at the aquarium with someone that you may not even like.
Right. True.
And you don't want to. Yeah,
True.
it can get bad. The goal is look, your first date should be anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour. And if it goes over, great. Maybe you guys have great conversation after. But the idea is this person worth a second date? Do I have enough interest with this person? Because you want to kind of lay out the framework and the foundation on the first
But
date.
do you get that answer in 30 minutes?
Huh?
Do you get that answer in 30
You
minutes
know if
or an
you're-
hour?
You know if you're interested to know more for a second date. So when
Okay.
you're done in 30 minutes or an hour after you have whatever conversation, you're like, okay, now I know what she likes to eat in conversation. I know where she likes to go. I know her interest.
Mhm.
Rather than you now forcing her, because maybe you take her to a hookah lounge or you take her to a restaurant and she's like, yo, like I gotta be in bed by 8 because I wake up every morning at 4 to go to the gym.
Right.
Well,
Why the hell would you want to now go to dinner?
I'm assuming that would come up in conversation before, because like I would ask her that, or I would ask her, hey, are you down to go to?
I guess
and
it
then
kind of depends
would-
on who. I'm going off of like if you meet someone and you're like, hey,
Off
like,
rip?
I want to.
Oh, okay.
But
oh, I mean, like in person.
maybe you've been talking to someone for.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, if you're going, because me, like, if I'm going on a first date, I've already been talking to you for like, because I'm not gonna ask you for a first date off rip. You know what I mean? Because I don't know you.
okay, fine. Okay,
You know
then
what I
let's do it more modern dating.
Okay.
Let's
Yeah.
say you're on your phone and you find a honey and you're like, damn, she looks good. The story's hot.
Like Instagram,
Let me
yeah,
react.
you
I know.
DM or
That's why
whatever,
I'm
yeah.
trying to get with the times right now. I know I'm a
Yeah.
little older, but I still got it. So you're there, you're reacting to her stuff. She starts reacting to your stuff, like a picture, like back. I know
Yeah,
how
that
you
know,
guys do it.
yeah.
Yeah, it's probably you.
Yeah,
Yeah, it has to be you. So when you see that, then okay, then you start having conversation. Maybe you like that's what I like about starting a relationship or a conversation on Instagram because you can kind of, it's almost like a dating profile already.
Literally,
Like,
it's the
what do
biggest
you do?
dating
Where do
app.
you go? All that stuff. Now you can kind of gauge like, hey, like, what do you like to do? Whatever.
Right.
That's good. At the end of the day, remember what they show you and and how they talk over the phone is different in person.
Yeah.
So you don't want to go somewhere where it's like, oh, well, now I want to go to a nice restaurant because are you even comfortable going to a nice restaurant? Because maybe you're like, oh, well, you know, I got enough money to go to Chili's. You're not going to go to Chili's. You're going to have to actually go into your savings or take out that credit card because, you know, you want to impress her. But now you're now setting this expectation of what your first date was like. Now, where is he going to take me on the second date?
Yo.
Same damn. Nah, but that's why.
Go to
That's
Chili's
why
now.
Chad
You gotta
Ochocinco. That's why Ochocinco has like the best method. He's like, first dates, I'm taking a girl to McDonald's. You know what I mean? See how she reacts. If she throws a fit, I'm still gonna eat my food and we'll drop you off and then we're good.
That's
You know what I mean?
more of a that's a
a little bit
test.
extreme.
That's a test. No, that's a test, not a challenge. And Ocho Cinco can do that because he's
Yeah.
Ocho Cinco.
So
if you do that, you're gonna
You
be
think
like,
so?
She'd be like, what the fuck?
Who the fuck is you?
Yeah.
Like,
Because think
I'm
about
worth
it.
the Filet-O-Fish.
No, because think about it. Because then if the girl really wants to date Ocho Cinco after taking him, after her being taken to a McDonald's, it's because she really likes Ocho Cinco, not because of because then any girl will be like, "This is where you're gonna take me. You're Ocho
No,
Cinco."
because I've had not first dates, but I've had first meetups where it's just like we get food from like Chick-fil-A or some shit like
Yeah.
that, and we just chill in the car and we talk, and like those.
See,
have been,
that's
like,
actually
some of the
pretty
dates-
You know,
good.
the car's actually a really good spot.
Yeah,
Well,
What-
it
what you talking
depends. It depends on.
Okay,
It
fuck,
depends.
Bro, relax.
It depends on the other person.
Yeah.
If that's their vibe as well, which
Mhm.
I would assume that if you're gonna be asking someone on a date, they are your similar vibe. You're not gonna go
Yeah.
off of like maybe if it's not your lifestyle, you're not gonna go for it. And if they agree to that, then that's already a good sign because you know it's like it's quick. It's like, hey, you know what? Like I just left the gym, or like I'm about to
Yeah.
go to the gym. Like, hey, you want to meet up really quick so we can grab something? You know,
Facts, yeah.
that's dope because then really quick, it's you're making time for that person. You know, with whatever busy schedule you may have, and then you're now creating a little space where you can have a conversation and say, "Hey, look, I'm so sorry that I got a ride, but I'd like to hang out with you again." And then boom, now you locked in the second date where you can now, flex.
Broaden
around
up,
if
like, where you
wanted to.
go,
But now
yeah.
you have more
You
opportunity.
know, it's a
because-
good place.
Yeah.
An escape room.
You have
You
to
put it to the
communicate.
test the
You
first
literally-
day.
yeah,
I wouldn't do that on a first date.
Yeah, it was because
I'ma see who you are.
She's a little
She's like,
stupid,
"God,
or
now
if
I'm
you're a
stuck
little
with this
stupid, and then she's like, you know,
Yeah.
and she's like, damn.
You gotta play your strengths, kid.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You're right, bro.
If you're dumb, why the hell you gotta go?
It's like, but then it was funny because I was having a conversation with a friend about like gym dates, and I'm like, that would not work for me
Yeah.
because I'm super like to myself in the gym, and I'm terrible like at giving you advice of how to do it because I'm like, especially with girls, like no offense, like a lot of girls go to the gym and like they just do basic shit,
Sure.
and then so they want you to teach them, and then you're teaching them, and then they hit me with the I don't really feel it. Then I'm stuck because I'm like.
Damn, bro.
Well, I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. Right?
But I'm
That's
hitting
just how I
I'm
do
hitting
it.
myself.
Brandon is over
So
there
then-
like Greco-Roman lifts.
So after I'm just like, all right, man, put my headphone on and then
Yeah.
But that's just how I'm used to working out. So that's why I'm like, that wouldn't work for me. But I've seen other couples or like other people. Like I love seeing that shit in the gym too. Like a girl single, a guy single. I see them go up to her, talk to her, and then the next time I see them, they're together working out.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's good for you, bro. Like I would not be able to do that. Like I don't know. I don't have that.
But if they're already in the gym, you
Yeah.
already know that they have to have some sort of understanding of how to. Well,
you see some people.
you
in the
gotta know
gym.
your audience. You gotta know
Yeah,
your
exactly,
audience. Like
yeah.
if I were to run into some girl who she's probably in a library, I'm not gonna be like, yo, let's go to I don't know the club.
Go to
Or
Centro.
Yeah, because
yeah, let's go to Centro because she's gonna look at me like I'm crazy, and then vice versa. I'm not gonna ask someone that I met in Centro. Well, who knows? It could be, but she's like, hey, do you want to go on a gym date? And it's like, I have brunch. Maybe not.
I'm
something-
good.
You gotta
We're in
know
a
your
copper
audience. You gotta know your audience, bro.
Facts.
You know what would be a good date for if you meet someone at the gym, bro? A smoothie spot or something like that. You could get, like
That's
they
not
already
bad.
have. I'm saying like you already know that this person cares about health or whatever.
That's true.
You can like
Nah.
kind of someone that ties in with that.
I'd probably do like an
A
outdoor.
quick smoothie kick.
But I don't know. Not a first date. I feel like a second date would be more of an outdoor activity. That's where I would go outdoors and stuff like
Yeah.
that, like paddleboarding or like kayaking or something like
Yeah,
that. 'Cause,
good.
yeah,
Exactly.
for me, like
Exactly.
it's more adventurous and then it's kind of fun, I guess.
Yeah.
Unless they don't like that type of stuff. But then
But
that
you
would
learn
come
about
up.
that.
Yeah, exactly.
You learn
about
like, yo,
that.
this person doesn't like trying new shit, or this person like
Yes.
doesn't like
100%.
Yeah. Going on adventures.
Don't do no kayaking.
I feel that is
though.
very important though.
It's also energies, man. Because if you can click with someone in within an hour, then you'll know like, oh, well, now I want to learn more. Like I would like to see this
Yeah.
person again. Boom. Now that's where you set up like, oh, you said you like this place. Hey, what you want to go this weekend or whatever. or you really like to do this, so your favorite artist is this guy. He has a show, or he's got like a little, I don't know, like let's go swing by over.
Definitely
here.
be sober for your first date. That's
Hundo.
like
Hundo.
So
a given. That's a
so
given.
alcohol zero.
No,
I would
alcohol.
I would
weed,
order. I would order a drink.
Yeah, that's
A
okay,
drink.
But it depends on, okay, if you want a first date just to eventually have sex, that's one thing. But if you want to actually go on a first date to meet someone, then I would.
I mean,
have the alcohol.
one drink like to like loosen up the nerves. I guess like a shot.
Yeah, but then
Nah, I'm not. I wouldn't do a shot. I would
once
just
you
do
have
a-
one, that opens the door for more.
Yeah.
And then what if, they want to keep drinking, and then it'll be fun, but the next day you're going to be like, yeah, I want to hang out with this person again, like it was a good time. But then how do you match that? Cuz now you've already created the first date is
expectation.
about going out and having fun. What if you don't want to go out and drink anymore? Maybe that was that one time that you wanted to impress her, that you went to go get drinks. You felt like shit the next day. You're like, yo, I don't want to fucking go out and drink again.
Right.
Bro, I feel like that now. I
Yeah.
feel like I'm getting old, bro.
How old are you?
I'm 25. Well, 24, 25 this week.
25. He turns 25. 25.
20,
Recently, 2
23.
weeks ago.
Oh, you're the baby.
I
Yeah.
guess. Bro,
Yeah.
you say that, bro. Just this morning, I like walked the wrong way and my knee cracked, bro. I was like, yo.
Yeah.
I
I mean,
damn, bro.
I
Like,
do it all the time in the gym though. Like I'll get up and I'll just and this will crack.
bro, but it'll be
like this.
random, bro. Like
Yeah.
just living life now is like,
Yeah.
Bro, you
Yo.
wake up with a crooked neck.
But
I don't know that
like
crooked
for
neck.
example, last weekend we went out for our boy's birthday because he barely ever goes out. So like we took him to have a good time, and it was the beginning of college football, so we went to go watch the game. Bro, we got blasted, and then the next day I woke up like
Jesus.
woke up like at 1 with a headache, and I'm like I never used to be. We used to go out one night, and then the next day we'd be up in the
Already
gym and then
drinking.
going out again.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? So like now I'm really starting to feel like
Nah.
wow,
Yeah.
hang on, you getting a little.
Well, I mean,
old,
I'm
dog.
28, dude. Like, if I slip and fall in the shower, you gotta take me to the emergency room, dude. Going straight to the ER.
Back to
he has the life alert on deck.
Yeah, dude.
back to them FIU tailgates.
Oh, that's right. You would FIU, right?
Yeah. I was in a fraternity, dude. I was always drunk. Always.
Always.
Wait.
Every weekend.
There were times where, there were times that at night there was probably a pregame.
Yeah.
One thing that I learned when I was in a fraternity was pregame to everything. And I took that
Oh,
very
yeah,
literal.
yeah,
I
yeah.
took it very literal. So I would literally pregame to everything. So it's like, oh, we have class. A beer won't hurt. So, or, it'll be like, oh, we're going to go to this meetup. Okay, let's show up already obliterated. And then the next day was a tailgate where you have a hangover.
Yes.
Yeah.
Crack open a beer. You can't get a hangover if you're still drunk. So just drink a beer.
Just keep drinking.
Yeah, it's like you.
It goes
I
away.
used to see people passed out on pre-games. I'm like, what the
Yeah,
fuck?
some people wouldn't make it
Yeah.
like past the pregame.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, we kind of that's where we learned how to, I guess, drink. Cause at least, let me not speak for you, cause maybe.
No,
it was
I
different
did.
for
I
you.
did.
I learned how to drink with in college, cause our boy was, Andy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he was
that's-
in a
Oh,
frat.
he was, yeah.
He was in a frat, and then we were pledging, and then
Oh, that's how
they shut down Greek life at FIU completely that year.
I heard
So
about that, I heard
then,
about that.
and by the time they were
That
coming
was y'all.
back, by the time they were coming back, we were gonna be graduating. So I was like, "There's no point."
Yeah, for what?
So
I mean, but we did get a glimpse of like how it was.
because we were at Dade, and then they were at FIU, so they would invite us anyways.
Honestly, it was the best glimpse because we used to get hammered with them all the week.
To be honest,
I had no ties.
I tell them all the time, I'm like, "Yo, we low key finesse," because like they had to pay, like
Yeah.
at least like from what
Your
I was told,
dues.
they
We used
yeah
to pay
exactly.
like $15 just getting
Who?
15.
I never paid. They charged you. That's what I was saying. Like I
No.
finesse, bro, because I never
Who?
paid. They would just invite me out, and we'd go out and be with all, and we met all the brothers, and they,
Yeah,
you know, they liked us because our boys were in it too, and it was just a good time. So I wish I would have had the
full experience.
the full experience.
That's where I
but-
learned how to drink, dude. Cause
Yeah.
when I was a pledge, bro, dude, there was a lot of. I mean, I can't say much.
Yeah, don't. Yeah,
there were a lot of drinking tests, and I'm actually fortunate because there were times that I would be obliterated and I would make a fool out of myself.
Oh,
And the next day, I'm like, okay, well, maybe one drink before that, maybe I'll be fine. So
Yeah.
it's like you test your limit, and you're like, okay, I never want to get to that limit again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I've had many moments like that. And the next thing I'm
Oh,
like, why did
yeah.
I do that, bro?
yeah. You learn, a golpe.
Yeah,
It's
literally.
experience is your best teacher. So eventually, when you
Facts.
feel it, you're like, yo, I never want to do this again.
Do you have your chubbies hung up on a wall?
No, but I do have like a bunch.
Yeah.
It was a good thing. Yeah,
I remember
you had to
I've
show
talked
your
about it on here before, like how like when I was at date, I'm like I'm never wearing shorts that small. Like I would make fun of Andy for that. I'm like,
Yeah.
what are you doing? And then
As soon as he got there,
I was like,
Give me 'em.
Yeah.
I mean, we've talked about it before. Like on my first tailgate, I saw a kid get his cargo shorts, like the pockets
ripped
cut
off.
off.
I'm glad you said that.
They were like, no, we don't do that here. And he was a pledge. And they're like, one of the brothers grabbed it, cut it off, and threw him to the side.
And he had
I'm
to
like,
be the whole
damn,
party
what
like
is-
that.
I got ranked for wearing cargos.
For real?
once. Yeah.
Because that was
Yeah.
like the thing, at least when I was in high school. Cargo shorts were like.
I
in.
thought the same thing. Then when I went to college, I was wearing my cargos and I thought I looked good, you know. And then
Like
they
that
were
We have those pockets, son.
no, yeah, they were like, oh, what are you carrying in there? Your virginity? What do you need those for? Like, what do you need extra?
They told me that. They're like,
tactical
what do you need all
shorts?
those pockets for? Like, what are you carrying?
Yeah. So after that, I threw them away and I never bought them again.
I have hella chubbies now.
Traumatized. Yeah.
And I can't wear short. Like, you see me in the gym? My
Yeah.
gym shorts like up to here.
Yeah, you
bro,
see like you see one of his balls hanging out from
Yeah.
his shorts,
Hey.
tiny dude.
That's why he has like the tights under.
You feel me? Yeah. Attached to Lululemon.
Yes, sir.
Shout out, bro.
They're not paying for it, but hopefully one day.
Yeah, one day, bro.
But
Someday.
I think this is a good spot to start wrapping it up, or to wrap it up. So before we go, do you want to plug your podcast?
Oh yeah, shout myself
Obviously,
out.
we've
You never asked your question. Is it quick or
I mean, it was mostly
You had a question too. You don't want to ask it?
Ads.
ask yours really quick?
much
ads, like
time do we
marketing,
have? I don't know.
marketing
It's
wise.
4:30.
What about it? What about it?
But we can ask that like off air.
Nah,
Okay,
have
fine.
time.
All right, so then we're good.
Yeah, we're good.
You guys
Oh,
are
okay.
good? All right, so
Yeah.
spotlight on me.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Christian Viera, again, co-founder of the Coffee Breakup Podcast. You can follow us at this moment. The Instagram handle is at Coffee Breakup Pod, and but yeah, all relationship stuff and a little bit of everything. But we're there. We got TikTok, we got Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and we have our website, thecoffeebreakup.com. You get some merch, get a couple of cool stuff there. You can watch
Wearing
our
the
own
shirt now.
podcast. We're going to be launching now on Mondays, but if you go to YouTube, you'll be able to see all of our stuff. But if you go to YouTube, make sure you subscribe. Very
That's
important.
number one
Subscribe to the channel, like, comment down below anything that you think about it. And if you're on the go, you can listen to us either on Spotify and iTunes. They're completely free. You just got to look for us and you'll be able to play.
I appreciate you coming
Like a
out.
pro.
today,
Yeah,
bro.
facts, bro.
Like a
Appreciate
pro.
that.
Thank you for coming out because you didn't have to
Oh,
come out
man.
on a Sunday.
For
Oh,
real.
yeah,
And-
by the
and-
way.
This
and
is
we- and we
recorded.
did it at super last minute.
It
So-
was last minute. By the way, I told them because my mom's birthday's tomorrow. So, like, I got my
shit.
family down. We're going to cut the cake tonight. As soon as I told them, I'm like, yo, I got to bounce. So, no, but they're cool.
No worries,
For
bro.
sure.
I
Thank you
got
for
to
coming
support,
out.
dog. I got to support, y'all.
Facts.
Appreciate you, bro.
I'll go follow.
But yeah, thank you guys for watching, for listening, and we'll see you guys in the next one.